And then the daughter is cool. I don't know, Madison Thompson. Of course I know her name because that's her right there. But if you go to look up the cast for the movie and you go look up Madison Thompson, that white woman gonna show up. That's another Madison Thompson, but not.
I want to see the version of that movie where she's the daughter.
I'm like, come on, Google, man. The great replacement theory. Somebody in the chat said, wow, uncanny, man.
How progressive.
Yeah, how do you kill the fake one? I don't know. I just don't know.
Come on, Martin, make a decision, man. No, not me. Oh, shoot that bitch. Man, that's funny, man. December 8th, that's a Friday. Gonna be in the Red Room show at 10 p.m. Since we're talking about this new Eddie Murphy Christmas movie, might as well just talk about Eddie Murphy, man. Maybe it's just my observation, but Eddie Murphy looks like he's turning into Bill Cosby, man.
I know.
I mean, it's funny because Eddie Murphy has made fun of Bill Cosby, constantly talked about Bill Cosby, done whole bits on Cosby on stage, and now the man looks like he's turning to Bill Cosby right here. Now, when I say he's turning to Bill Cosby, I'm not talking about evil Cosby.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean by that?
No, not evil Cosby. I'm talking about
Cliff Huxtable.
Cosby, not even Cliff Huxtable. Cosby, when he was like, back before we knew that he, what we know, that he was an evil rapist out there, he was drugging people. I mean, that still gets me today. Who would have known, man? But
people knew. They just weren't saying.
Yeah, some people just didn't say anything. But for the rest of us who were fooled, back when we thought that Cosby was our dad, not our uncle, he was everybody's dad.
Yeah, America's dad.
Yeah, he was the everybody's dad guy that just made shitty movies. And because he played a lot of dads that way in a lot of shitty movies.
Yeah.
He like every movie that Cosby was in, he was a dad.
Yeah.
After a certain point.
Yeah.
So Eddie Murphy, he's just kind of that edgier version of that. He's the one that'll curse more than Cosby did back in the day.
Does he curse more?
Well, that's the thing, Yeah, let's just say that. So Eddie Murphy is that. He's the edgier Cosby, the dad Cosby before Cosby started hating black people and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But that Cosby, it was like had no edge at all. Like he had as much edge as Jell-O pudding.
Yeah.
Where this Eddie Murphy, he doesn't cuss, but he almost.
He cusses. No, he cusses. He says, but he doesn't say, no F words, no F bombs.
No.
He don't. I don't even think he says asshole right now. He'll say ass, but leave that hole off of it.
Yeah.
So
hell.
Yeah, he curses like a dad, who's around mom. Because when mom's not around, I was like, oh, I'm gonna tell mama.
He's more like a new dad because old school dads just cuss in front of you. They cuss you out.
Oh yeah, man. Damn, his head is even kind of turned to Bill Cosby. Look at that. He's turning, man. He's morphing into Cosby.
You'll see.
Yeah.
What's happening to me?
Starting to wear Cosby clothes and everything. Look at it. Now I say this because even in those bad movies that Cosby was in back when, he was likable dad Cosby, he was likable. You might not like the movie, but Bill Cosby was still fun.
Yeah.
I watch for about 10 minutes and then get the hell out of here.
Exactly.
Laugh at Cosby and I'm done.
No offense, Bill, but the rest of this movie is not doing it for me.
And Eddie Murphy's kind of turning into that, man. He's that Murphy, that Eddie Murphy that has likability. And even in these bad movies that he's making, I think we're all starting to just accept that because we're beginning to realize and accept that old Murphy's dead. He ain't coming back.
That's the thing I've been saying for the longest time, but I feel like with each one, more people accept it like, okay, that Eddie Murphy that I showed up for does not exist anymore.
He's dead.
He's been gone for a while and I'm just now accepting it.
Yeah, he's gone. This is the Murphy that we have right now, okay? This is it. Let's just deal with it. I've come to terms with it. It's almost like that Superman 3 fight where he came out of his own body and beat the shit out of nasty Murphy. Put him in a trash compactor, and now we got nice Murphy right here.
Yeah.
It's not, and you know what? Wow, that would have been a great Christmas movie too. Murphy's A Christmas Past. Like we get different Eddie Murphys like this guy right here.
It's my pleasure to introduce to you none other than the one and only Eddie Murphy. Yay!
Not real. For real, I'm not Eddie Murphy, man. I'm not Eddie Murphy.
I'm the ghost of Eddie Murphy Past.
Okay, I was like, ain't no goddamn Eddie Murphy.
No, that's the ghost of Murphy Past right there, man. You damn right no Eddie Murphy, because we ain't getting that Eddie Murphy no more.
Right.
Eddie Murphy's gone. He gets visited by that Eddie Murphy right
He's
there.
like, no, I'm not Eddie Murphy. Why did you invite me here? I told these people they don't believe me.
Yeah, man. Now that's Chuck Jeffries right there. That's Kung Fu Murphy.
He's Karate Man. You feel pain on the inside.
Yeah. But see, this new Eddie Murphy that we got right here, man, I finally just accepted it. I was like, I watch all these Eddie Murphy movies, and I realized that there's something about them. They're bad movies, but you know what? I've kind of, maybe I'm just beating into submission right now, but I've always just started to like Eddie Murphy now. I don't know if I'm just broken in or whatever, but I'm liking Eddie Murphy. You know, he's not, of course, he's not hilarious. He's, you know, but he's fun. He's likable.
He's there.
He's there. Yeah.
That's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
He showed up. So.
Yeah. You know, he's comfort Murphy. You know, he's not hilarious, but he's man, I'll get comfort from just having him.
Man, reaching for these straws.
Reed just couldn't do as good a job as you are with his reach.
It's hard to explain what the appeal is.
You ain't lying.
I just like Eddie Murphy. Even when he's just amusing. Maybe not hilarious, but even when he's amusing, I'm like,
Did a great job being in front of the camera while it was on.
He was there. He showed up, like you said. As for this movie, though, this movie that he's in, I like the weirdness of it. We're talking about Candy Cane Lane, starring Eddie Murphy. I like the weirdness of it, man. Murphy's being terrorized by a Santa elf gone bad. who turn him into a living Christmas ornament if he doesn't pull a Sonic the Hedgehog and find 5 different rings. And look, it gets weirder, man, because to get the rings that we're talking about, he has to fight all of the characters from the 12 Days of Christmas song.
It's a crazy, weird premise, but I like it.
Yeah, and they come to life and they're going to kill his family if he can't find the rings.
I'm glad you guys liked it.
Hey man, listen.
Hey man, so many of these things are just cookie cutter, and from the minute they start, you know everything is going to happen. And I was like, this is going off the rail. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm in for it.
I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't tell you, man. This is crazy. So I mean, it's got to be good, right? Right? Well, I think these two guys already told me what they thought. Right? What do I think though? Tell you what. Let's go ahead and listen. Obviously, words cannot explain this film. And even if they are explaining them, you're not believing me right now. You're like, man, y'all exaggerating. Y'all go talking crazy just to get a laugh. Sure, whatever. Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer for what is the biggest movie on Amazon right now, Candy Cane Lane. And we'll be back to give you more of our review.
Everybody listen. This is important.
Rise and shine, naughty boy.
He goes, what the hell is this?
That's all it is. Something's happening. Good morning, sir. Are you real?
We all were, until we fell into that elf sick trap.
Believe it or not, though, with amid all this insanity, there is a story within this movie, a plot of some sort. So you have Chris Carver, who's played by Eddie Murphy right here, who goes all out just like everybody else in his neighborhood with his Christmas decorations. And everybody's trying to outdo each other every year. And he does a pretty good job. This year is it gets a little worrisome because he loses his job. He gets laid off. But he's in luck because if he can win this year's competition to have the best decorations in the neighborhood, then him and his family, they have a chance to win $100,000, which, hey, might not last him, his getting laid off, but it'll bring him the best Christmas ever.
Sure.
Especially since one of his kids is moving out and everybody, his kids are getting different interests and whatnot. This is the Christmas for them. This is the one where they consider it to be the last. This is the one where they can all be together for the last time as a family as they see each other right now. So he's also in more luck because he finds a pop-up under a bridge led by one mysterious woman where he finds the best Christmas tree ever. And it is a badass tree.
It is a badass tree.
I ain't gonna lie. The tree tells the story of the 12 days of Christmas. It's animated, like it spins around and you can see the characters moving.
It's a bit creepy, but it is the greatest Christmas tree of all time.
Yeah, it is very creepy. So by a very creepy woman, played by Jillian Bell, who has some secrets of her own, which you already can tell right here what's going on with her. Of course, he buys the tree, and the tree comes with a price. He signs without reading the fine print.
Because who reads the fine print?
No one. I don't.
Yeah.
They did a whole Black Mirror episode about it. No one reads the fine print. We're all cursed, doomed. But he's especially in trouble because he didn't read the part where it said that as soon as you sign right here, be prepared for all of the characters in the 12 Days of Christmas song to come to life, try to murder your family, and make you a permanent Christmas ornament. Unless you can find 5 rings that are carried by these characters from the song. If you defeat them and get their rings, then hey, you're good. Merry Christmas.
I feel like anybody who's following was like, okay. And you got to that part and they start going, wait, what now?
Now you just me, man. Oh, listen, some people are, they're talking about how much they appreciate the weirdness of this movie. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm one of them, man. I respect the craziness. I also like that this falls into a certain category of Christmas films, which I call like the family dark Christmas movie. Mm-hmm. When I say family dark Christmas, I say that because it's not dark like Die Hard or Gremlins, which both are Christmas movies that came out in the summer, but and are considered to be Christmas movies now over the years. When I say dark Christmas movie, I'm talking about something like A Christmas Carol or spinoffs like that, like Scrooged or The Grinch, the original. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Not that abomination.
Yeah, not that other stuff out there. I'm also talking about things like Even It's a Wonderful Life. Mm-hmm. You know, all of these have a certain darkness to it, in which these characters find themselves in some really dark, threatening situation or trouble, or they're doing things that are just bad. And then they learn a nice lesson at the end, and everybody's having a nice Merry Christmas. This movie kind of falls into that.
It does.
Because there's parts in here that's kind of like they play up a horror movie thing to it, you know. I mean, these creatures are coming to life like gremlins and trying to kill the family and whatnot. Don't even ask about how they ate maids of milk and try to kill the son in this movie. I like the way Julie's like, man, y'all, man, this is not amusing at all.
No, I agree with you that there is some weirdness to it, and that's what I liked about it, just not enough for me.
So, you know what? I tell you, I get it. And let me just tell you what I did enjoy about this.
But they do go full hog with some of the weirdness a couple times in the movie. One time in particular, near the middle of the movie, I did not see that coming. It gets insane.
Oh yeah. No, the movie does get very crazy here. So, you know, one of the things I'll tell you, the movie had a lot of. Let me see here if I can pull this up. The movie has a lot of great ideas, I think. One of the things that I like the most about the movie, I like the Christmas ornaments that were trapped. You know, the human beings that were turned into Christmas ornaments. I thought that was a pretty fun idea, man. I love the idea of the ornaments being trapped souls. I love the look of it, man. I enjoyed the design of it.
They had this like stop motion look to them. That was cool.
It's like they used a low frame rate on some things, so it made it look a little jerky.
Yeah.
Which with the ornaments was cool. You know, it really stressed them being made out of porcelain.
Yeah. That's you both are right. Yeah, it does have a very stop motion look to it. And I think it looks cool, man, because CG has been trying to like copy stop motion for a while. Mm-hmm. And we can start to see that is actually getting to that point these days. And I really like the animation with these characters.
And this is my oldest daughter, Joy.
Damn, Eddie Murphy moving like he got stop motion.
Joy to the world.
Wait, we're all named after Christmas stuff?
Just now figuring this out.
You know, that's actually pretty funny.
I love that was his reaction. He's like, really?
That's actually the funniest scene in there, man. I'll tell you how badass the tree was in the movie. I really like the part where the neighborhood is decked out all in in lights. I mean, this neighborhood is a fire hazard.
Yeah, where did you drawing all this power from?
Yeah. I like that every house had a theme though. Like every house had a different motif. Like one house even had like a Matrix theme going on, So, listen.
Man, you signed. I thought it was hilarious.
I was like, why?
He's been doing that through the whole thing. And he's got me laughing. When I was talking through the whole trailer, like,
I like silly shit, man. I like that stuff.
I feel like you don't.
We just did a review for Good Burger too. I really enjoyed that.
So why are you all Scrooged up now?
I guess that it felt, I don't know, there was so much, the product placement and all the other jokes, the script just didn't work for me, I think.
If you want a movie that has a festive Christmas look and you want something new, this is it, man. This thing,
they walk into that shop. I was like, whoa.
Oh yeah. No, this thing just vomits Christmas decorations and themes, man. I mean, it looks great. If you just want a movie that just looks like Christmas, even if you just play it in the background while you're together with family or something.
And to people, it makes them go like, wait, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the movie's almost like a Christmas decoration itself. Just put it on the TV and just let it play.
It's a Christmas comedy for the 1%. In my eyes.
For the 1%. That's good. I like some of the actors in here, man. I like Jillian Bell as Pepper the Elf.
I thought she was awesome.
No, she's great. She was
good.
Yeah, as silly as the concept is. No, she was very good in it, man. I like the family. Like I think Eddie Murphy and Tracy Ellie Ross. I think they work very well together, man. I like the family. I really like the daughter. I like when he went out shopping with his daughter.
Yeah, no, it reminds me of going out with my youngest. We had that same kind of relationship.
Reminded me of you going out with your daughters, man. And the daughter is cool. I don't know, Madison Thompson. Of course I know her name because that's her right there. But if you go to look up the cast for the movie and you go look up Madison Thompson, that white woman gonna show up. That's another Madison Thompson, but not.
I want to see the version of that movie where she's the daughter.
I'm like, come on, Google, man. The great replacement theory. Somebody in the chat said, wow, uncanny, man.
How progressive.
Yeah, how do you kill the fake one? I don't know. I just don't know.
Come on, Martin, make a decision, man. No, not me. Oh, shoot that bitch. Man, that's funny, man. Oh. No, I'm there with a lot of points that Martin is making with this movie, man, as far as liking certain elements of this movie right here, man. So why did I not like this movie more? That's where I'm kind of see some of the things you're talking about. I see both of you right here. I see both of your comments.
No, I see them too.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I'm right in the middle with you guys. I don't know. Maybe I do agree with Martin here. I don't know. I'm not sure. But before I start getting into all the negative with this, let me tell y'all something that's actually very nice and positive right here. And I'm not. Mm-hmm. This is not trying to be a segue. I'm just stopping right now. No, I don't. If I did, it's a terrible one because you saw it coming. Y'all like, I see those coming all the time. What are you talking about?
That's nothing new.
Yeah, that's not
like a train.
Yeah, but except for that last one. but hey, before we get to the negatives, let's talk about something very positive, and that is Stamps.com. And I'm telling you about Stamps.com because, we're talking about a Christmas movie right now. Oh, Christmas must be right around the corner. We got a few weeks before it gets here, but it will be here before you know it. And the thing is, it gets here so fast that y'all haven't bought your stamps and got your packages together and all that kind of stuff.
And the rate's about to go up.
There you go. Listen to this man right here. Listen to Black Santa over here. He knows. And listen, you don't want to deal with people out in the rush and all that kind of stuff. This is where Stamps.com can help you. I've been telling you this all the time. With Stamps.com, for one, it's like having a post office, your personal post office, wherever you are, man. All you need is a computer and a printer, and you are on your way. They'll even give you a scale, a free digital scale, because they know you're going to appreciate this service so much. They say, hey, we know you can't do everything on your own. You're busy right now, so we got you. We got you. Also, you can take orders on the go with Stamps.com using their mobile app. If you need to pick up a package, You can schedule that through the app, so you don't have to sit back and wait. Oh, these benefits, boy, they sound very nice right now. Look at all the time you're saving, thanks to Stamps.com. Stamps.com, they seamlessly connect with every major marketplace and shopping cart out there. So if you're selling stuff that people want for Christmas, they're buying things from you because they like your stuff and they would give it as gifts to their family and friends, Stamps.com is there to help you even with that. And they also have premium discounts that you can only get with Stamps.com. You know, you can get up to 84% off UPS. What is it? USPS and UPS rates, both of them. All them U's and P's and S's out there.
All those
ups. Yeah, 84%, y'all, up to 84% off USPS and UPS rates. And Stamps.com automatically tells you the cheapest and fastest shipping options out there. If you're interested, I got something for you, got a deal for you. Give yourself the gift of Stamps.com. Give yourself the gift of time and saving money. And let me go ahead and pull this deal up for you right here. Should have had this ready, but I was in such a rush to get to y'all today to tell y'all about this deal. I don't even have it up yet. Here we go, people. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go to Stamps.com and use the promo code TOASTED. And when you do that, you'll get a 4-week trial plus free postage and that digital scale I was telling you about, all the people rushing to get that scale. That's what I want for Christmas. I want that scale.
What are they going to do with that scale?
Yeah, I don't know. Wait. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to with Pixie.
And stamps.
No, just Pixie. No. You get that free digital scale. And also, there is no long-term contract. I want to thank Stamps.com for sponsoring this portion of the show. I want to thank them for saving you time and money, especially during the holidays. And I want to thank all of you out there for your support. All right. So, not that I want to get into anything negative here, but what is it that I did not like about this movie? Well, as I told you, I think the movie had a lot of great ideas, which means I thought the movie had a lot of promise. And and also, don't get me wrong, man, there are some really funny things in this movie. They have a visual gag about shopping. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have to see the movie, but they kind of show you what it's like to go between different stores. And I thought that was kind of funny.
That was well done.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, been there.
Man, they do. Man, everybody will relate to that. That's an actual relatable, funny joke.
That just made me roll my eyes. I was like, wow.
Really? That's the one?
Yeah, that one I didn't care for either. I was like, wow, just mentioning all these stores one after another. How hilarious.
Oh, no, man. It sells the whole premise.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, whatever.
No, I get it. I understand what he's saying. It's just,
No, I hear you. Hey, it doesn't work for everybody. I get it. Man, they do. So the $100,000 prize is being sponsored by this TV show, the local TV show.
Cable company.
Yeah, from the cable company.
Prism, which I guess is Spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but there's a catch with that prize. And I thought that was fun.
I laughed out loud.
It's both a gag that's said and it's also a visual gag. So I even had to freeze the TV to see everything that was going on with this. And I thought it was funny, man. There's also a I don't see color joke in this that I thought was pretty funny. But, you know, and those things are laugh out loud funny, man. But, you know, for me, not for everybody, obviously, so some more than others. But, and I'm not taking a jab at you, not at all. No. I don't mean it, no, not at all. Not at all. I respect, like I said, you know, humor is subjective, whatever. But I just don't think a lot of this is clever. I think the characters are, you know, some of the humor that we see here is just characters just being loud or ad-libbing loudly. You know, I've seen this guy before, so this is not hate against anybody, but they got a influencer as one of the anchors at the TV station, and his whole thing is just to be loud.
I thought it was a great gag bringing him on initially. Mm-hmm. And then he kind of got on my nerves because I was like, oh, we're still doing this. But then as it went on, every so often, just intermittently, he'd say something that I thought was funny.
He was funny to me.
It was almost like he was funny by accident.
Yeah. He was funny to me. And like I said, I forgot this guy's name.
But
the DC Young Fly, yeah.
How could you forget that?
Yeah, no, I thought I've seen him before. He's a funny guy. I just, as far as the character goes, I just don't think they gave much to do except like just talk loud. And I thought it was funny at first, and just after a while, it just stopped being funny to me. One of the things they do is they just give random personality traits to characters just so they have an excuse to say something funny. Like the little perverted black ornament right there.
I thought he was funny, though.
Really?
I liked him a lot.
I liked him up until he started just being, perverted and weird and creepy. Like if he was human, he'd be in jail for some of the shit that he was doing and saying.
Well, he probably was on his way before he got turned into an ornament.
Yeah, his backstory sounded like a crime for sure.
Yeah.
I would have felt that way if he had thrown out like one or two of those creepy lines, but he was like, no, this is who this dude is.
Yeah, no, he doubled down.
He stayed with it.
Yeah. There's a whole scene with chickens, man. Chickens dressed like, French people.
In a beret with a striped shirt.
That was weird and not in a good way because we had a couple of animation styles going on. And then when these came on, I was like, all right, there's a whole different studio animating these things. And they look almost like living Muppets. This doesn't really fit with anything else.
They were cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look like some kind of an animated cartoon. And because they have human facial expressions and whatnot. I mean, I could accept that because they're from the song, and they're exaggerated. So I get that.
Yeah,
but I just,
French hens.
Yeah, but there you go. But then they were just, they have whole scenes where they just run amok and just cause chaos and there's no really clever thing to it. They just run around, just for CG slapstick.
I can say I hated that scene. I was like, I was digging this and now you're ruining it.
Talking about at the end?
No, in the middle with this whole thing with these chickens.
When they broke loose in this factory and caused chaos.
Oh, right.
And plus, it's and they do this while the actors they almost extend the scene while the actors try to make something funny out of a painfully unfunny scene, man. And it's almost like the actors are trying to carry this, and they even seem embarrassed. They're just kind of like,
what can we do?
Yeah, Jesus.
I mean, honestly, for me, the biggest laughs for me were visual gags. Like there was one thing with like an ornament that made me laugh, and I was so shocked by something that they did with those geese that made me laugh.
Okay, no, I like I love that idea of them having to fight the 12 Days of Christmas characters, but the movie has the incoherency to it for me. And listen, I don't care how crazy your world is and, or how much of a fantasy world you have here. If you're telling a story like this, I believe that you need to have some logic to follow. You don't have to follow the real world logic. Just make up logic or rules for yourself so that it has some coherency. And this doesn't have that.
Yeah, it becomes Jumanji. Except without the rules to go with it.
And they're going off course. I would understand if it was just, the movie's getting more insane and there was just no reason for it. It really was just chaos. But it's going off course for lame humor. To the point where things just don't make sense. Logic is traded in just for, CG action sequences or some of the humor I was telling you about. There's the scene where you have, people jumping, whatever it was. You know what I'm talking about? The part with the
Lords of Leaping?
Lords of Leaping, yeah.
That made no sense.
They show up at this track meet. First of all, there's a lot of crazy things. They show up at this track meet that Chris Carver, Eddie Murphy's character, his daughter's at, and no one says anything. No one says anything about, Christmas ninjas showing up, jumping around with javelins, man.
Yeah, that furthers the conflict for some of the characters. And when someone addresses it, it's like, dude, what the f-? Like, are you good at your job? Like, you sound crazy.
Yeah. And it's one where you go, okay, is this a thing where nobody else can see them? But then it's like, well, it seems like people can see them.
Well, see, that's the thing, because
they show people reacting.
Yeah.
Like, what the f-?
Well, people are kind of reacting like, all right, whatever. But everybody's going about their business.
Right.
Like there's a track scout. They're looking at his daughter, and the track scout doesn't say shit about these dudes on the field flipping. He doesn't say your daughter, but what the f- is happening here? And also, I mean, I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler. Some characters turn into wood. They turn into like flat wood and fall over. No one says a word when that happens.
And who cleans that up?
Yeah, no, these dudes in front of a field of people, they fall flat and turn the wood right in front of all these spectators. No one says shit, not one word. Everybody walks out like, all right, I guess that's part of the show. But then later on, people see it happen again, and they're like, oh, what kind of black magic is this? So then it's not consistent, with what they do here, man. A lot of coincidences that happen.
A humongous coincidence at the end that just made me look away and go, give me a break.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. I mean, there was much better ways to put this in here.
Yeah.
And one character shows up in particular who has the power to stop all of this. It is just ineffectual. I mean, I'm like, what do you... I'm like, what... You obviously have the power to do all these things.
You won't learn nothing if he fixes it for you.
What, you want to let my family die?
Hey, you signed paper. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, that don't fly for me.
Yeah, talk to their lawyers. Can't do anything about it.
A lot of this just didn't work for me. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of this that I thought was funny. A lot of this I looked at and enjoyed. Not a lot. Let me just say it was about. If I had to put it in a ratio, I would say maybe about 30-70. That was some stuff in here I enjoyed. Some stuff I laughed out loud with. As I said, I like Eddie Murphy and the rest of the actors in here. So this wasn't painful for me, but I was just really sad that it just devolved into some of the things that I see lazy movies do, especially, even like the soundtrack or the score to the movie. A lot of these things seem like a movie in a box. You just get it from the studio, open it up, and you got a movie right there that goes by the usual, the usual things that you see in a family film. But I will say that the idea is more inspired than usual. And in those characters, like those ornament characters, things like that were really imaginative in the film, and I wish me the movie was up to that standard right there. But hey, like I said, man, if you want to put something on for Christmas, it's already on Amazon. If you got family over, they're getting tired of the kids, want them to sit their little asses down, put this on and they'll be happy. And again, one more time, if you just want to put something that looks festive on while you have a party or something happening, this is a good movie for that. So yeah, it's a rental for me.
Well, I am not very different from you. I've had the same complaints, and I probably liked it a little bit more than you did, just because, one, I had very low expectations for it. And yeah, the whole movie in a box thing. But within that movie in a box was a bunch of new ideas and different things that the characters were doing and saying. I'm so used to movies getting marriage and parenthood wrong that the ways in which they got it right, I greatly appreciated and laughed at and connected with. And Jillian Bell as Pepper the Elf, she was very good. Yeah, she's very good. Like every time she came on, it's like, ooh, more her. And the family, Tracee Ellis Ross. I mean, I don't know why I was surprised. She spent all those years on Blackish, but she's great at comedy, especially being a comedic wife. Really, I thought Eddie Murphy was the weakest link of the actors, at least in part of the family. He was just kind of mostly dull, except when he was interacting with his kids. It worked, but as far as bringing the laughs, he wasn't really doing it. It was just everybody else was a lot more interesting. There's so much about this movie I like. I hate that you're doing these things that I don't like. Like this movie, it's hard to say that it's good, but I overall did like it. I'm more 60-40. It doesn't make it an all-time classic, but at the same time, it is one where I know I'll watch it again, and I have an affinity for it. And maybe it's just personal. But so for me, it comes out being a high rental. And like Amazon is a perfect place for it.
Somebody in the chat said that. They said it's right where it belongs. We always say that.
Yeah.
I've been talking to one of the editors today, and I was telling him about it. He's like, it's where it belongs. Yeah, exactly. It ain't hurt nobody.
I mean, honestly, every trailer I've seen before made me go, oh, this is going to be an instant some old bullshit. So I was happy that it's like, oh, it is better than that.
Like I said, this ain't hurting nobody except Julian.
Yeah. If jokes like taking an Elfie make you laugh, then this is the movie for you.
Hey, man, they don't stop the movie to do that. It's a quick in and out.
The world stopped for me when they said that.
You're too sensitive.
I guess so. Look, I never go into a movie wanting to hate it, but when I saw the trailer for this, I was like, I hope I don't have to watch this. But I saw it.
I didn't ask for you to watch it. I wouldn't have wanted you to do that.
No. Okay. This isn't a slight against. I'm very happy to.
I just I don't want to waste your time.
No, and I don't feel like I.
Let me tell you something. Your review is making me laugh. Though, so I'm glad you did.
I'm glad there's some benefit to come from it. But let me tell you, this movie was a huge miss. Like you say, what you're 30, 70, you're what
60-40.
60-40. I'm like 10-90. Like this made me laugh like 3 times, and it was nothing that anyone said really. Like there was like a couple times I exhaled through my nose with gusto, I'll say, where I was like, You know, like that's kind of cute. But like the funniest stuff is just weird visuals, like stuff that's just out of nowhere insane. But there was not enough of that. There was not enough of, you know, like, so to speak, Ace Ventura crawling out of a rhino's butt. You know, I want that real weird shit.
Okay, I'm not looking for that. Sorry,
I guess that's where we differ.
That's where we Paul Walker and Diesel right there.
But man, I guess it's harmless, but I stand by what I said. This is a comedy for the 1%. Like all these Christmas decorations, you like Christmas, enjoy it. This is a high, some old bullshit at best for me. I don't hate it. Don't ever want to see it again.
For the 1%.
Yeah, I just felt like, wow, they're everyone is so successful. They have a huge family and like they're in these huge houses. It's like those are $1 million houses.
It's not the kind of humor that the 1% like crawling out of an elephant's ass.
Yeah. So, now you're talking about
that's
smart
1% humor right there. We got the 1% in right here.
Yeah.
So if you're a rich asshole who loves crawling out of an elephant's butt, then
yeah, you're one of those Richie Riches that buys presents for your kids.
If you're a billionaire who loves elephant anus, then you are the person for this movie right here.